hello, and thank the Lord that is over. Thank you, that is over. This is brought to you by ACCO, India's leading digital insurance company. Pairs, cricket. I've not prepared anything for this because this game was over 4 days ago. Man, we're doing our absolute best. People are coming here. It's like, come on, give us something to enjoy. Are we enjoying the cricket? Pez, have you enjoyed the cricket?
That's a big question. He goes again. Two answers to all of those questions, and I'm 36 and I don't know who I am. Obviously we've said everything that needs to be said about the triumph of cricket being back in Pakistan. Listening to the press that was over there, some of the guys are mates of ours. It seemed like an amazing occasion. If you were there, I guess, and you got to experience that. But God, I was just waiting for that deck to break up a little bit or for something to happen, and it didn't. And you were calling that early. Thought you went the early crow. It may still be true, but it's turned out it has turned out to be true. It's that they would have had a more interesting match literally playing on AstroTurf. It was a little bit embarrassing, and I just saw that Naman Ali was awarded player of the match for his six for, and that was after Imam Ul Haq literally hit back-to-back hundreds. One of them was unbeaten, and I think that might be that is a really good cricket judge to go, like, if you can get 6 poles on that, you are fucking good. It's disappointing. I mean, look, if you're a real pragmatist and like you Rubik's Cube live for results, then Australia has gone to the fucking San Siro and come away with 0-0. And that's fine. That serves a really pragmatic purpose. But in terms of a game where you're looking for a winner and you're looking for a way to win the game, I'm not sure I can remember a game that was so far away from looking like producing a winner ever. It really wasn't fit for purpose. So I do say, with all the caveats of the triumph of the return, and I do think that is bigger than anything else. Just from an optics perspective, how's the optic on it? It's about as grim as it comes, if I'm being honest. Look, I don't fucking know anything about how they bring these decks together or what the context is. That's literally how isolated and sheltered I am over here. I'm just looking at a game and going, man, if this was grade cricket, there'd be so many blokes blowing up in disgust at what they had to deal with out there. I mean, how much is Scott Boland laughing off the field? He's like, man, I'm still looking real good here. There you go, mate.
Yeah, I think that's right, man. Okay, let's get into the 3 things, man. And you've nailed it there at the top there. Norman Ali leaves the game on a hat trick. I suppose 6 for over the wicket to right-handers, just throwing them down leg side. I think if he bowls 3 down leg side deliberately, then he gets called for being he's getting widened. But blokes get bored. So that was relatable in grade cricket sense, because I know a lot of good spinners who played first grade, for instance, who play county or higher. They're you just bowl it for a bit, and then blokes get bored and they get out. This was test match getting bored. I'm going to sweep. I'm going to do something. I'm bored as fuck. And this was part of the boredom from an Australian perspective anyway, because Pakistan guys did some really good stuff in this game. But there was we didn't even get the satisfaction of hundreds for guys or some hurdles being cleared or whatever. Okay, Australia batted okay, but it was Norman Ali out of the match on a hat trick. He'd start in 3s here.
Oh, yeah. Hey, my uncle's taken 6 for. He's like he hadn't played in 15 years or something. I'll have a tweak. Yeah. Goes back, tells his wife, I got 6 bowls today. Yeah. Just put it outside the leg stick. These blokes get bored.
Get the broom out.
Yeah, that's right. I know they couldn't broom me. I've never been able to broom me. They couldn't broom me back in the day, Dale. What do you want for dinner? And he's making dinner. Happy International Women's Day, I should say.
That's right. Of course. IWD.
Just in contrast, look, absolute road, and people have said that this is the best Australian attack of all time, etc. But absolute. We're mate. We can look so pump in Asia, especially on a flat one. Like our attack is kind of straight. Like there's not a lot of X factor. It's all kind of Australian Cricket Academy, biomechanics. There's no, we need a court jester. There's no whirl, there's no twirl. I feel like Asian cricketers, they just all play lines so well. He's still too beautiful and symmetrical, and all the triggers are there all the cues are there to see him, the way the ball comes out and stuff. There's a different world where it's Sock and Fawad Ahmed for me. That's probably some from Strange Gear, but that's something. I feel like heading into the next couple of tests, I feel like at the end of this test, right, like Pakistan has played better than Australia. They've taken 10 wickets. Australia's taken 4. They looked actually less threatened with the bat. So they look less like getting out than Australia, and they look more like getting wickets. And I think all they have to do in the next test is just to dial up that turn a little bit. Just let that wicket break up, and I think that's when you can put pressure on Australia. I think our bats are good, facing some seam up stuff and a bit of spin, but yeah, I'm interested to see how we go if Pakistan can just deliver something that breaks up a bit.
I know, man. I completely agree, because I'm looking at some of Australia's batting, and we did okay on a really flat wicket. I'm still looking at a few techniques, and I'm like, it feels like this series is there to win. Sure, I can come India after that, but it still feels a bit like I'm watching Cameron Green. He got 48, and I'm like, big old front dog there.
I'll say a big pad. That's a big pad you got there.
A big old front pad. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, this series is there to win. Let's get into the second thing. Yeah. Imam goes back to back. Unlucky probably to get player of the match. Look, he's opening the batting. A guy opening the batting getting twin tons is unbelievable.
Highest
nothing.
Highest opening partnership against Australia ever.
Partnership. Yeah, I got to say, man, when fucking Kawaj is coming on. I don't know. Okay, we're into the third thing in a second. But Imam, he's played 12 tests and he's got 2 tons. And I thought he was majestic in both innings. He was mature. He played the conditions. He is an exceptional player. He's now got test match hundreds against a very good bowling attack. The wicket is the wicket. But he is not quite 360, but he knows his game, and I thought he played really nicely. That's just the facts, and there's heaps of caveats, but I thought he played well.
Well, also Harry Brown wrote in, thanks Harry, and said, the guy who just got his tons celebrated for 1 minute and 28 seconds. Outrageous. It was mid-over. That would be a punch-on in Illawarra cricket. Now I
think a lot of things would be a punch-on.
There would have been a lot of punch-ons before that point as well in the game.
Yeah.
He was
cordial shit.
Yeah, I'd take a minute 28 too. To be fair, but like the second time he gets his 100, as soon as they show the shot of him, all I'm looking for is background images of the Aussies. Just I want to see the body language. I want to see if there's anything coming out. Here we go. If I can carry on here, mate. They're very nice, the Aussies. Yeah. That's what I was saying. I wrote on Twitter. They had a chance to bat on Pakistan after 77 overs. There was a few records there at play. It's exactly give us something interesting in the game. Let's see the Aussies blow up. They're meant to be a nice bunch of blokes. Let's see. But anyway, it didn't happen.
All right. Well, let's just get into the third thing then, which is the main thing, which might be the headline of this show. Mate, what did we just watch? What was that? Did we learn things? Pakistan are 6th in the World Test Championship. Australia are 1st somehow. What did we just watch? Do we glean anything? I feel like there's only things to lose there, in that game.
You know what we're like here. I'm still I can say anything and not mean it. I mean, I think that we're better than Pakistan. Generally, I walk around thinking that we're kind of king shit, and that we're classier than Pakistan. And when they come out here, which is invariably when you see them, we put it through the chest, and they look hapless and a rabble. And one thing you could say about Australia in this game is that for a game with fucking 1,200 runs and 14 wickets or whatever the fuck it was over 5 days, Australia never really lost their rag. They didn't look close to it. Everything was still tidy, which is almost scarier. If you concede 200, if it's 250 for none, you'd think someone's blowing up or someone's getting unhappy, but they didn't do it once. It was it's like they were zen, very unnerving. But I just thought it was also good to see that I'm dumb. there's no, like, before this series, I'm like, oh, Australia should win this series. Like, not easily. You always sort of give credit to the opposition conditions, but it's going to, Australia's going to have to try and find themselves in a good moment in a match and take the bull by the horns. Otherwise, I think that Pakistan will have watched that game. They'll deliver up the wicket that they need for the next 2 games, and it's gonna be tough to get a win.
Mate, I'm looking at this test match and there's some really good bowlers in this series. I was super impressed by Nazim Shah.
Yeah.
We've seen Australia before, but he was rawer then. He's not the complete product, but he is quick and he's good. We've seen Shaheen Shah Afredi before, and then you've obviously got Cummins and Hazelwood, Stark as well. Like there are heaps of good bowlers in this game, and it was just when blokes are just like pressing on the front foot and just dropping it at the feet easily. It's like, okay, this is tough work. But there are good bowlers in this game. Pakistan are a good team, and they'll be very good at home, especially trying to get their sticks out. That's going to be a hard thing for Australia. The series is alive. That's the best thing we can say about this game. I want to forget everything that's ever happened. I've never watched more cricket in this game, and I really regret everything that's happened in the last 5 days.
Yeah.
In my personal life as well.
Yep. No, I can vouch for that.
Hashtag AskTGC, brought to you by our dearest friends at ACCO. Shantanu Mishra says, hashtag AskTGC. Marnus missed out on a ton today. First of all, sad for him. Okay. His dad must be fuming. Now, what do you think he has to do to be amongst the big alpha boys other than to score a ton in India, of course? So Marnus is the number 1 test bat in the world. What has he got to do? 90 is a good start, I suppose. I feel like to be in the big boys, he's got to do it for about 3 years at the very top level everywhere, and then he can enter the top 4 big boys. Thoughts?
Yeah, he hasn't made an away ton. He has barely played away. He's 58 at Lords. That was when I became a convert in the second test. It's one of the best half centuries I've ever seen in the circumstances. Jofra Archer bowling absolute heat. That's when I realised Marnus was fucking legit. He's in the marshalling area for the big boys. He's awaiting the call. He's upstairs cargo, Marnus, but he's not behind the red velvet. He's craning over shoulders to Steve Smith. Hey, Smudge. Oh, Smithy, and Smith's
get us in.
He's like, he's got the phone. He's actually got other stuff that Smith needs, but he just that's where he is. Just his keys that live together. He's got a key.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. All right. Well done, everyone, on making it through the last 5 days. Tomorrow, right here on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, etc., is the main podcast where we will be. We've Pez has actually put together the entire speak pipes from everyone who sent stuff in. We'll let everyone, but just like the best of for celebrating Shane Warne's life. There's obviously plenty to talk about with India and Sri Lanka, mainly Jadeja. The game was kind of shit as well. Women's World Cup, reviewing this test match, Warne, all of it is all going to be out here tomorrow. Thank you to everyone who has stuck with us over the past 5 days. That was fucking tough. But you know what? Tomorrow is a new day. It's a new dawn. And thank fuck it's a new game. See you tomorrow.